Both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are campaigning in a key battleground state. What do local students have to say about the political climate?
A local group is celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day through the art of fashion.
And the Los Angeles Clippers are breaking in their new home. How this Inglewood Arena will offer fans an interactive viewing experience.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are making appearances in the country's largest battleground state, Pennsylvania. Hi, I'm Laurie Carrillo.
And I'm Jack Waterman. The two presidential candidates arrive in a state deadlocked, according to the latest polls.
You will no longer be thinking about abortion.
We've done something that nobody else could have done. It is now where it always had to be, with the states and a vote of the people.
Today in Pennsylvania, former President Donald Trump repeated his claim that he would be a, quote, protector of women, and he stood by the Supreme Court decision to end the constitutional right to an abortion and let the states decide. Kamala Harris is also spending the day campaigning in Pennsylvania as she hopes to win the pivotal swing state and its 19 electoral college votes. She just concluded a rally in Erie. This follows her unveiling of her economic plan for black men earlier today. A new poll by NBC News shows the candidates neck and neck, with Harris and Trump tied at 48%. Pennsylvania college students are feeling the intensity of the race.
Historically, Penn has, had a relatively high turnout. Election, especially, we saw a spike. I was looking at the numbers the other day. The 2020 presidential election, people turned out, and I think, we could probably see the same this year.
The main problem that Philadelphia has when it comes to voting is just voter turnout, right? Like in the situation where the winner of Pennsylvania wins the election. I think everyone's very aware of that. It's been a very stressful, intense time being in, the biggest swing state in the country right now.
The stakes are high. 7 million voters and 19 electoral college votes are up for grabs in Pennsylvania.
Arizona is another important battleground state. Residents will be voting on a number of local propositions and congressional races, most notably the contest for an open U.S. Senate seat. Former news anchor Kari Lake is a Republican candidate competing against Congressman and Democratic candidate Ruben Gallego. Annenberg Media was in Phoenix last week, covering both candidates as they courted voters in the state's largest city.
We're here at Arizona State University's campus, where ASU college Republicans are hosting a tailgate with senatorial Republican candidate Kari Lake. Kari Lake ran for Arizona's governor in 2022 and lost, and is now running for control of the Senate against Democrat Ruben Gallego. The seat is currently held by incumbent independent Kristen Sinema, who is retiring from the seat. This is going to be a highly contested Senate race with potential to flip Senate control for the Democrats.
We got 24 days left to this election, right? And I say that a lot of people say that's where the election day is. No, election day is now. Election day is now. Let's go vote. Let's vote for our kids. Let's vote for our future. Let's vote for our community. Muchas gracias.
Excited. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. We're going to secure the border. We're going to bring back safe streets, and we're going to bring back a strong economy. So no matter what your political beliefs are, where you're from, what your skin color is, it's a strong economy where you can achieve your dreams.
Well, Laura, you were one of those students with Annenberg Media in Arizona last week. So what were some of the things that you saw that were most important to voters while you were there?
Absolutely. There are a ton of issues that are important to Arizona voters. As a border state, though, immigration is on the top of the list. Economy across the board, both sides are really concerned about the rising cost of living, expensive groceries, and abortion is on the ticket in Arizona. So they will be voting on a state proposition that will protect the right to reproductive health rights at a state level. And then on the Republican side, we're seeing a lot of people concerned with election integrity. So a lot of people who are concerned that, the 2020 election was, quote, stolen, and that they're concerned about that happening again, or that, they suspect that might happen. So those are some of those issues.
Yeah, and Arizona is always one of those states that we hear every election that is, a very, very controversial state, could go either way. So talk to us about why that is, especially in this election year.
Right. So Arizona used to be, a reliably Republican state, but in 2020, Biden won by 11,000 votes, which is super tight. It could go either way. Of the millions of registered voters in Arizona, about a third are Republican, a third Democrat, and then there's a third independent. So candidates are really trying to appeal to those independents and get them to their side. Yeah, well, it'll sure be interesting to see what happens in Arizona, and we will keep you updated here at Annenberg Media. Well, a group of advocates argued against California's Proposition 36. They believe it could lead to another wave of mass incarceration in the state.
We will not stand for this anti-black, brown, lock them all up, tough on crime measure that threatens to destroy our communities. We are not with that.
The measure is aimed at curbing drug trafficking and retail theft. Earlier this afternoon, opponents held the rally against Prop 36 at Hollenbeck Park in Boyle Heights. They said it would disproportionately impact Black and Latino communities. A yes vote on this measure would give those convicted of some drug and theft crimes longer prison sentences. Notably, felony charges could be issued against thefts of under $950. A no vote would keep current punishments for drug and theft crimes in place.
It really rings tight to my heart because all the resources that I got when I was paroled got me to where I'm at now, which is focusing on my academic career. Right now, I'm a graduate student at UCLA. If this does pass, which I hope it doesn't, all that money that's put into these community services will be taken away, or at least more than half of it, and rerouted to prison.
I drove all the way from San Diego for no on Prop 36 because I know the devastating consequences that it will ultimately create for communities, especially for communities of color.
Proposition 36 supporters argue that the measure, if approved, would encourage those struggling with drug addiction to receive treatment. They also believe it's a balanced approach to fixing loopholes in current laws. Proposition 36 is just one of the many California state measures that will be decided on Election Day in just 3 weeks. Well, today is Indigenous Peoples Day, which falls on the second Monday in October. One organization in Los Angeles is celebrating by providing education, awareness, and small business support through fashion.
Fashion has always been a huge part of who we are as an Indigenous people, with our very unique designs that have cultural symbolism, traditional meaning. Fashion design isn't just for those that are of European descent or other backgrounds, it's for all. And so we want to make sure we're highlighting what our Indigenous fashion designers are doing.
The Indigenous Fashion Collective is a group that was inspired by their heritage and the innovation of their culture around the world. They aim to change the fashion landscape by giving a platform to artists to promote, preserve, and advance Indigenous fashion.
I wanted to pay tribute to matriarchs in our community. So each design that you see on one of these high-end luxury bags is dedicated to a matriarch. So we promote the culture and we promote the language. We do have a high quality level of Indigenous excellence, and I want that to be seen on more of a global level.
Tonight, the Indigenous Fashion Collective is hosting a block party with a concert featuring Indigenous artists like Taboo and PJ Vegas, starting at 7 p.m. You can find out more at their website, indigenousfashioncollective.org.
The Dodgers-Mets game just ended at Dodger Stadium, with the Mets taking Game 2 of the National League Championship Series 7-3. And once again, fans leaving the stadium are dealing with traffic. This video of fans leaving the game yesterday. Fans were stuck outside the stadium and on the freeway for hours. An LA nonprofit is encouraging people to take public transit.
We need a lot more transportation alternatives, particularly to sporting events. I think, we have a really good option with the Dodger Express, but, that can be a little bit confusing and sometimes challenging.
LA is gearing up for the Olympics in 2028, with plans to spend $900 million on critical infrastructure, $160 million on safety and traffic flow, and $80 million to electrify more metro buses. We'll have more on this afternoon's Dodgers-Mets game coming up in sports. Just as the Dodgers are closing out their season, another Los Angeles team is just getting started. Annenberg Media reporter Stephen Noble is live in Inglewood at the newly built Intuit Dome. Tonight, the Clippers will tip off against the Dallas Mavericks at 7:30. Stephen, why is this game so important to the Clippers community?
Hey, Laurie, tonight is important because for the first time in over 25 years, the Los Angeles Clippers will host a home game in their very own exclusive arena. This $2 billion dome, Intuit Dome, behind me, it is said to revolutionize the way in which fans interact with the NBA.
We are back at the Intuit Dome. It's time for one more tour. The plaza in front of the arena has a court for fans to use and a 40 by 70 foot art piece by Rafik Gandal that is just so mesmerizing. As you walk towards the arena, you'll see this massive ship by Glenn Kino with hoops from all around the world as the sail. Into the arena, you pass over a note from the biggest fan of all, Steve Ballmer. Intuit Dome is really the next cathedral of basketball, and I can't wait for it to open.
That was USC alum and Clippers radio broadcaster Carlo Jimenez, and he just might be right. This stadium seems to be the next cathedral of basketball. The dome features the world's largest halo board. That's an oval-shaped, double-sided scoreboard. Also, all 17,700 seats, well, they're equipped with USB-C chargers and the most legroom in the NBA. There are also 5 basketball courts, a practice and training facility, and a team store fully stocked with Clippers merch.
And we wanted to build a home that is of our own, that sets a standard for us. We don't play anybody's shadow. We want to redefine how sports is watched, how we listen to music, how we cheer for our favorite performers.
You just heard from Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, and this arena, it's his vision. And it's also considered to be his love letter to Clippers fans. Upcoming events at Intuit Dome include concerts, comedy shows, and of course, plenty of Clippers basketball. Reporting live from Inglewood for Annenberg Media, I'm Stephen Noble.
On this Indigenous Peoples Day, we are going to talk here in studio with the leaders of USC's Native American Student Assembly.
A USC student art exhibit is opening tonight. We'll hear from the artist after the break.
You like jazz? Angel City Jazz Fest liked a USC quartet enough to present them an award.
They come screaming across the sky. It's lots and lots of jets and planes. The greatest collection of aviation DVDs we've ever offered. And through this special TV offer, you can get 2 DVDs for the price of 1. You'll get to see big planes, little planes, soaring stunt and passenger planes, even planes that fly real low. Old planes, new planes, fast planes, slow planes, smoking planes, even planes at supersonic speeds. Plus much, much more when you order lots and lots of jets and planes. Each DVD is jam-packed with lots of high-flying, close-up action. This special TV offer is not available in stores. Remember, you can get 2 DVDs, over 2 hours of non-stop aviation action for the price of 1. It's lots and lots of jets and planes.
You can order now and receive a free bonus CD of Jet Plane songs. You must be 18 years or older to call 888-300-3455. Parents, call 888-300-3455. Satisfaction guaranteed. That's 888-300-3455 for lots of jets and planes.
If you want to stay warm and cuddly, then you need to put on a Snuggie. It's the blanket with sleeves that keeps you totally warm while your hands stay free. That's right! Perfect for men, women, and children love them too. And now, there's even a Snuggie for your dog. Available in a variety of hot new colors that'll keep you cozy from head to toe and totally warm wherever you go. Snuggie is available at retail stores everywhere. So if you want to be warm and cuddly, it's time to get on your Snuggie. That's right!
Zinat Javaid, a junior studying in the Brodsky School of Arts and Design, is hosting her second art exhibition. The reception is tonight from 5 to 7.
Also, it's not so focused on the chickens themselves this time. There are focuses outside into kind of the realm of the industry and the physical, the manifestations of the environment that these chickens are placed into. And I suppose it's like what we don't see as consumers of animal products.
Zinat's art comes from her observations of American consumerism in the agricultural industry. The exhibit builds on her previous work exposing the cruel treatment of animals.
Having an independent show can be very scary and can be very intimidating. She's still very nervous about having this whole space all to herself and wanting to do your very best and put your best foot forward. So yeah, it's definitely a huge undertaking, but she's done an incredible job so far.
The solo exhibition will be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. through October 22nd. It's located in the USC Roski Studios building. Last Friday, the Simon Metzger Quartet, a jazz group composed of 4 current and former USC Thornton students, won this year's Young Artist Competition at the Angel City Jazz Festival. We spoke to their lead drummer on what this prestigious award means to these talented musicians.
It means a lot. Like, it's super cool to have this opportunity. Extremely blessed, extremely thankful, for the opportunity to win this. It means that more respect is on our names now in the jazz community. It's really cool to have my name up there with a bunch of people that I look up to.
Make sure to follow at Simon Metzger Drums on Instagram, where you can find out more about the quartet's upcoming performances.
Well, in order to continue celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day today, we are joined by the 2 co-executive directors of USC's Native American Student Assembly, Daniel and Najoni. Thank you both for joining me today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's jump right into it. How has the day been for y'all? How have you been celebrating and preparing to celebrate over the next week or so?
Oh, today I started off by making a lot of phone calls back home. I think it was definitely nice to hear from my grandparents, but I'm also, with that comes a time of reflection, just to look back on our ancestors and the contributions they've made up until now. So that's how I spent my day.
Yeah, I would just say spending time with a lot of my Indigenous friends and relatives, and it was fun to just hang out with them and appreciate the day.
Yeah, what are some events that you've had today or planned today, or you have planned to kind of stretch the celebration as long as it can be?
Yeah.
Well, today we plan to collaborate with USC's Visions and Voices in addition to LA Skins Fest. They will be screening a movie, Fry Bread Face and Me, which was written and directed by a Navajo producer and screenwriter. So we're definitely excited to have someone on campus who's also from home. So it'll be a full circle moment, I'd say.
Yeah, very exciting. We're very excited to be able to collab with Visions and Voices too, and to make our assembly heard in that event. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, and you both are seniors, I know, so this will be your last year at USC. What are you hoping for the student assembly as well as for just Native representation here at USC?
Yeah,
I think we're hoping for that continued growth. I mean, this will be our 4th Indigenous Peoples Day, and since then we've seen tremendous work, not only from our end, but also just the school. So we're definitely excited to see what the future leadership of NASA has planned for the next coming years. I mean, we started off struggling with not finding as many resources, but now we've kind of worked our way through it. So excited to see what they can do. And I guess we could talk about some of our program initiatives. I mean, a lot of our programs are geared towards leadership and mentorship, so we really want to bring in as many younger general members, just try and get more involved in any way possible.
Yeah,
definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. This has been awesome. Enjoy the celebrations for the rest of the day. And you can catch the Fry Bread Face and Me event tonight at the Norris Theater at 7 p.m. And now we're going to toss it over to Lucca with weather.
Thanks, Jack. And as we have a live look at campus, it's a nice day outside. It's sunny. It's like regular perfect temperatures. And if you're tired of me saying that every single week, well, I have some news for you. It's a different forecast for this week. What's up, Trojans? I'm Lucca Chrysostomou, and I'm back with this Monday's weather report. Before we start, I'm noticing we need to come up with a more creative name than Lucca's forecast. So if you see me on campus, please give me some suggestions. Now, on to our current conditions. It's 69 degrees outside, sunny with 67% humidity. It's getting a little chillier, but it's still perfect temperatures outside. But looking at our 5-day forecast, I'm going to get out of the way so you guys see this. Wednesday and Thursday, we're actually going to have rain in the morning. For once this school year, it is going to be a little bit of a drizzle in the morning and mostly cloudy for the rest of the days. And nighttime temperatures are going to be pretty cold, reaching a low of 53 degrees on Friday night. So make sure you stay bundled up. But if you made weekend activities plans already, the temperatures will warm up just in time because Friday it is 78 degrees, Saturday 79, and I'm sure that's going to continue on into next week. So a trip to the beach will be more than possible by the end of the week. And unfortunately, that wraps up this week's weather, which, to be honest, is as inconsistent as the Dodgers' performances this postseason. Which brings us to sports. Kasey, what do we have today?
Yeah, thanks, Lucca. Next on sports, we'll look at USC men's basketball's brand new cast. We'll analyze USC football's heartbreaking overtime loss against Penn State, dropping them to 3-3 on the season. And we'll dive in on the Dodgers' thrilling NLCS matchup with the Mets. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Now your child can visit steamy jungles, grassy plains, and the dark depths of the oceans to meet and learn surprising facts about the magnificent animals that live there, all through the captivating, colorful pages of Zoo Books, the publication especially created for young readers. Each monthly issue of Zoo Books is packed with breathtaking full-color photos and scientifically accurate illustrations, plus games and puzzles. Today, through this exclusive TV offer, you can get 12 fascinating issues of Zoo Books for the special price of $19.95. When you call and use your credit card, we'll include the Elephants issue as a gift. Plus, you'll also get the colorful collection of animal stickers and the tiger poster. So order Zoo Books today and send learning and fun to a child you love.
To order 12 fascinating issues of Zoo Books for $19.95, call 1-800-441-2400. When you call, we'll include the bonus elephant issue, stickers, and tiger poster with your order. Call 1-800-441-2400. You must be 18 years or older to call.
Have you ever wanted to develop your artistic abilities? If so, you may already have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To find out, simply call toll-free, and Art Instruction Schools will send you this enjoyable art test. Since 1914, we've helped thousands of aspiring artists become more skilled, more confident, and more creative in their art. Call today for your free art test. We'll help you become a better artist.
Happy Monday, but not for USC football. Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Kasey Kazliner.
And I'm Ethan Galbraith. There's a lot going on in the sports world, so let's get right into it. It was a collapse at the Coliseum last weekend as the Trojans dropped another Big Ten matchup, this time to the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Tight end Tyler Warren was the standout for Penn State by hauling in 17 catches, the most the Trojan defense has ever conceded to one player. This seems to be a theme for USC after letting Dalton Kincaid catch 16 passes back in 2022. After the game, Coach Lincoln Riley spoke on shouldering the blame after the team's third loss in 4 games.
It always falls to me. When have I ever shouldered responsibility? I always take it. I'm the head coach. It's all my job. So believe me, there ain't nobody taking more responsibility than I am. So I don't know where that line of questioning comes from. We've got to do a better job at the end of games. I have to do a better job. Our coaches, our players, because we're doing too many good things to put us in situations where we have the lead and we can win. But we got to get paid off for it. We got to be able to finish, and it all falls on my shoulders at the end, and that's part of why they call me head coach.
If the Trojans want to pick up the pace, they'll start this Saturday against Maryland in College Park.
USC basketball has a new look cast this year after a long offseason with many changes. They're set to face UTSA in an exhibition game tomorrow night at Galen Center. Head coach Eric Musselman has been rallying his troops in practice ahead of the unpredictable campaign.
All of our point guards, you guys are like quarterbacks. You got your first option, your second option, your third. The fourth option's to run, to go to the cup.
USC has 11 transfers, and one in particular, guard Desmond Claude, is aiming to take on a big role. The former Xavier standout averaged over 16 points last year, which brought him the Big East Most Improved Player award. In a brand new backcourt system, Claude's playmaking will be vital. Musselman added another key contributor by picking up 6'7" guard Chibuzo Abo from Boise State. Now attending his third college, Abo has shown his ability to score at all 3 levels and incrementally improve on the defensive end. USC's regular season schedule won't begin until November 4th, but the exhibition battles will give fans the chance to learn about the rebuilt roster.
Just up the street from campus, the Dodgers are back in the NLCS, facing off against the New York Mets. The only thing worse than the game's traffic is the Dodgers' performance today. After a shutout win last night, the Mets seemingly flipped a switch and jumped out to a 6-0 start before holding off a Dodgers rally to win 7-3. With the Mets win tonight, the series shifts across the country to the 5 boroughs for 3 straight games at Citi Field. If the Dodgers want to bring the series back to the West Coast, they have to steal at least one road win.
Now it's time for Nobody's Talking About It, where we each highlight a story that we believe needs more coverage. USC women's soccer has played 8 Big Ten matches and still hasn't lost a single one. The Trojans' success can be fully attributed to their depth, as 10 different goal scorers have combined for the team's 27 total scores. Fans should be talking about USC's ability to share the wealth across the roster as the team sits first in the conference.
Shifting to the court, women's volleyball won a 5-set thriller against crosstown rival UCLA last night. But the bigger story is the Trojans are undefeated in 5-set matches this season. So when it's mattered most, they've held up and finished down the stretch.
Make sure to tune in weekly to hear our under-the-radar storylines.
That's all for sports today. Now, while I go and try and figure out what a Nittany Lion is, let's toss it over to Jack to see what's next.
Well, next on ATVN, the Victoria's Secret fashion show is back. But is it better than ever?
Bonjour, je suis le grand musée.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Yes, that's French they're speaking, and no, these children aren't French, they're American. And they've acquired their amazing new language skills from Muzzy, the remarkable new video language program for children developed by the British Broadcasting Corporation. With this unique BBC language course, children learn a second language with incredible ease. 4 delightful videos quickly become their favorite TV show and teaches children the same way they learned English. Learning another language becomes fun. You'll be amazed when your children begin speaking and understanding their new language from the very first day through this unique method. The entire course, 4 videos, 2 audio cassettes, the activity book, and the Parent's Guide and Answer book is available in French, Spanish, Italian, or German.
To order, use your credit card and call this number. We'll ship and charge you $28.08 a month for 6 months. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call 1-800-424-0700.
Okay, this stuff is really amazing. I mean, I put it in my mouth and I taste watermelon, but it's not just that. I taste strawberry too, but it's kind of like a watermelon-y strawberry put together. Hey, hang on. Sorry about that. And the bubbles are really awesome. I mean, that's why they call it Max. I guess, obviously, that sort of makes sense once you think about it. Oh, I'm Dan, and that's Chuck. Hubba Max. A whole new kind of bubble. Hey!
It's no secret, the Victoria's Secret fashion show is back for the first time in 5 years. The show features an all-female cast, including K-pop sensation Lisa, Grammy Award-winning artist Tyla, and a special performance from Cher, giving us all something to believe in. Some of your favorite models will also return to the runway. Monica Esquivel is here to give us the details on Victoria's Secret's Fall from Grace and the company's new rebrand.
That's right, Laurie. Due to a slew of controversies from promoting unrealistic body expectations to marketing through the male gaze, the Victoria's Secret fashion show came to a halt in 2019. We spoke to PR experts about the new look.
Before Me Too, before women felt like they had a voice, they would just look at Heidi Klum. Oh, that's the way we got to look. You know, all these women in the Victoria's Secret fashion shows. And I think it more appealed to men and, rather than it would make women feel bad.
And I'm really thrilled to be seeing over the last 5 years that inclusivity is not just a term anymore. We're really seeing it. We're seeing it in beauty. We're seeing it in clothing. We're seeing it in actual fashion shows.
The Victoria's Secret fashion show will be live streamed on Prime Video, YouTube, and social media tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for today's Star Quality. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Laurie Carrillo.
And I'm Jack Waterman. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.